guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette, and as you can tell, I'm very excited for this palette. I just received it and I wanted to start using it. It is a really good neutrals palette, and you'll hear a full review at the end of this video. So I'm starting off by priming my eyes with the NARS eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to follow that with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. So the first shade that I'm going to be dipping into is called Humble, which is a really nice vanilla matte shade. And I'm using this to set the bases that I applied. And then I'm going to go in with this deeper shade called Charming into the crease. I'm not being very careful about the placement. It's just serving as a transition shade for me to build darker colors over top of it. And I'm just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions just to get it really blended and just to set a really good base to blend the other colors. Into a different shade. This one's called Chick from the palette, and it's like a deeper mauve shade. It's got purple in it, and it blends really well into the original shade we applied, which was Maverick. And I'm applying that into the crease. I am using a smaller, more tapered brush to get a more precise application into the crease, and I'm just carving out what would be my crease of my eye, and defining that and deepening it up with that shade. Now I'm going to be taking the shades Chick and Maverick. I'm going to combine the two back and forth and then apply that into the crease. It's just going to deepen it up a little bit more and help diffuse the other two colors. Make sure that they look very well blended. Taking the shade Seductive. By far, this is probably my favorite shade in the entire palette. It's like a taupey purple. It's described as a rose gold, but I would say it's more of a taupe shade. And I'm going to use a synthetic brush and apply that onto my eyelid. And as you can see, it's super pigmented. It's pretty metallic. It's a very beautiful color. I think this is probably one of the best colors that you'll find in this palette. What I'm going to do next to make that shadow be a little bit more metallic is I'm going to use this Botanics Rosewater Toning Spritz. I got this at Target. It's very affordable. And I'm going to dampen my brush and dip back into that shade called Seductive and reapply that onto the eyelid. And as you'll be able to see, it makes the shadow a lot more metallic. And I'm actually not dipping into Seductive. Looks like I'm dipping into Sassy right into the center of the lid. And I'm just going to tap that into the center of the lid to make it a little bit more kind of like a spotlight eye and just make it a little bit more shimmery there in the center and add a little bit of dimension. And once I apply that shadow, I'm going to go back with the blending brush and I'm going to blend all through the edges. I'm going to be going in with this liquid liner from NYX Cosmetics, and I'm just going to make a very thin line over the top of my lashes, and I'm going to make a slight, ever so slight small wing on the outer part of my eye. It's seriously probably the smallest, thinnest wing you have ever seen in your life, and that's usually what I do because I'm scared of wing liner. And so I'm just going to make it really light and really thin, really just to define the shape of my eyes, and to help conceal the band of the false lashes that I'm going to be applying next. I'm going to be going back into the palette into the shade Fearless, and I'm going to use that to set the liner that I just applied and also smudge it a little bit. I like the smokiness that it adds by applying the shadow over the top of the liner, and it's a really good way of hiding when you've screwed up on your eyeliner. So that's pretty much what I'm doing, and I'm just basically going to smoke it out so that it's a little bit softer. Applying the mascara and curling my eyelashes, actually reverse, curling my eyelashes and applying mascara, I'm going to apply these false lashes called Demi Pixies from Ardell, and then I'm reapplying mascara to marry the two together and make sure that my lashes don't show from underneath the false lashes. I personally don't like it when that happens, so that's what I'm doing. And this really scary part here is me putting a black eyeliner into the what do you call that under eye part? It's not the waterline. It's like the under the eye waterline. I'm not sure what it's called, but as you can see, that's where I put it. And I'm also putting it into my tight line. I really shouldn't be doing these videos. I don't think I'm qualified. I don't even know all the vocabulary, but you get the gist. That's the good thing about videos. And so after that, I'm going to be using the shades in the palette again called Charming and Chick to smoke out the lower lash line and smoke it out with the black liner that I applied into the waterline. And after applying mascara to the lower lash line, I'm going in with the shade Sassy again, and I'm going to put that into the inner corners of my eyes to brighten up that area and highlight them, because highlighting is in right now, so that's what I'm doing. And it looks like I'm also applying it underneath the brow bone to highlight that area as well. And to try to hide that I have a very wide and very round and full, well-fed face, I'm going to try contouring here. I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution contour palette, and I'm going to be using one of the lighter shades in there, and I'm just going to apply it underneath my cheekbones if I can find them, and then to my forehead and my jawline, a little bit onto my nose. My nose contour isn't very structured, but I slightly run it through there so that it matches the shading around my face. And then after that, I'm going to go in with a bronzer, and I'm going to blend out the contour shade with the warmth of the bronzer. I really like how this looks. It makes it look a little bit more natural, and that way the contour shade doesn't look so harsh, and it just blends it in very well. Then I'm going to go in with this blush from Makeup Revolution called the Matte Blush Powder. The shade is in Nude. It's a really pretty neutral toned kind of blush. It does carry a little bit of peach, kind of peach and pink into the blush, but it's such a pretty color. It is a pretty good nude tone. It's very, very affordable, and the product, the quality of this product is really, really good. I definitely recommend it. And sometimes when I feel like the blush has gone up a little too high, I'll just go back with my blending sponge with a little bit of the translucent powder, and I just go over underneath my eyes and sort of bring down that color and help blend it and diffuse it. And now I'm going to be going in with this lip liner from Rimmel called East End Snob, and I'm going to be lining my entire lips. And then I am also applying a liquid lipstick, and this one's a Jouer liquid lipstick, and I believe the color is in Creme Brulee. It's like a nude with a little bit of a pink tone into it. And since I'm done, I'm going to transition now into my explanation as to my overall thoughts on this palette. So that ends this makeup look using the Persona Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. Overall thoughts on this palette: I think it's an awesome palette. It's a really good neutrals palette, and it's really compact. A really good palette for travel. For example, here is the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and it's even a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit easier to travel with, and it has all the shadows that you would need to create an entire look with it. It's got
mattes, it's got shimmers, it's got satins, from warm tones to mauve tones. It's a really good palette, and the colors that she selected to be in this palette I think are a really good combination. Definitely not, some of the shadows you do see in other palettes, for example these like warmer tones and then also the mauve tones, but the shimmers that she chose are very different from any other palette that I've ever seen, the combination of shadows within a palette, and it does come with a mirror. So I think overall that this is a really good palette, and it is affordable. I think it was around $30. So it's a pretty good price to pay for this palette. The quality is really good. The shadows blend really easy. They're super pigmented. I'll give you a quick swatch here, although you saw them on my eyes. So for example, those are 2 swatches right there. And there are the swatches there. Really good quality of eyeshadows. I think it's a really good palette. I like the way that it performed. It is a palette that I would recommend. Hopefully you enjoyed this look and first impression in using this eyeshadow palette, and I know that this is available to order, so I'll go ahead and link the website down below where you can get this palette. And that's it for me. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If not, I'll see you guys in my next video.